How's everyone doing this evening? I just got out of the shower, so I'm nice and fresh. Sorry about my hair. Wind's blowing it around. Windy all the time here. Um, Ain't had time to make a YouTube video here. Last few days been pretty busy. I want to show you guys a little project I'm working on right now. This is my front porch, and when I bought the house 5 years ago, I painted it, and I'm getting the paint off now. And I'm using my belt sander, of course, but excuse me, little something I learned, because I'm not really one to use a belt sander very much. But let me show you this right here. Walking by my camper, you see this belt here? Now, one thing I learned when you're using it and you're getting paint off is you've got to when you get done with that belt, which doesn't take long. I don't know, I'm guessing maybe 20 minutes, and then the belt's no good because it clogs up with the paint. As you can see it right there, see where it clogs up. Well, when I first started doing it, I wasn't thinking, and the belt clogged up. I just would take it off, put another belt on. Well, the next belt would clog up even faster. Well, then it dawned on me, because the belt sander is hot, and therefore it makes the belt hot. It was causing the paint not to just come off, but like to adhere to the belt itself. So what I do now is I'll go through a belt, and then I take like about a 45-minute break and let the belt sander cool down, and then put a new belt on, and I'm good for another 20-25 minutes. So little something I learned there. But I'm going here, sit down. I'm going to tell you guys what's going on in the news, because it's pretty interesting. Hey, Bubby. No, they don't want to see you. Say hi. No, we're not going to sniff everything, Bubby. Okay. This it's been real interesting. I've been wanting to talk about this yesterday. No, Bubby, I'm not going to pet you right now. I'm making a video. All you want is love all the time. Go play with your teddy bear. He's got this teddy bear over here in the yard. And let's just say he's a humper. So he humps all the time. This was from Realtor.com, and this came out yesterday. I wanted to make a video yesterday, but I was just so exhausted. Says here, foreclosures jumped 26% in first quarter, with surprising Midwestern states leading the nation. And it was a big long article, and it was going through it, and that's when you get all these foreclosures, it's because property taxes have skyrocketed on people. I mean, I've been talking about it, and everybody else has been talking about it. You got the utilities going crazy on people. People getting their electric and gas bill, and it's more than their mortgage. Groceries are still up. They have not come back down to what they were in 2020. And we're going to see another spike in the groceries because of the fuel prices before they come back down. Because once we're going to have a depression. It's not going to be a recession. It's going to be a bad depression. But once that sets in, then you'll start to see deflation finally. But and the high gas prices right now. I did a backhoe job yesterday, and let's see here. Gas was how much is gas here in town? $3.69, and then Wilmington, which is about 20 minutes south of here, gas was $3.49, I think. And then down in Cincinnati, it was $3.37, I think. Sorry about that. I'm getting some coffee. But yeah, that's with the foreclosure jumps. You'll see a lot of realtors. Some of them are investors, like myself, but they did not become investors during '08. So they've more or less, not heeded our warnings from us '08 veterans, and You know, they keep bragging about how there's no, there's nothing for sale. The foreclosures haven't started. They have started. They've just started foreclosing on people. What was it, back in October when they ended all the forbearance and all that crap. So, you've got 900,000 FHA borrowers that are in foreclosure. So I don't know. I forget that they changed a lot of the foreclosure process after '08 happened. I don't know if it's 60 days or 90 days after they foreclose on you that the bank basically assumes the property and all that crap. Because when it goes to the foreclosure, it has to go to the sheriff's sale first, and if nobody buys it, then the bank, they collect their money and all that crap, their insurance, and then they they go through the process of throwing it, getting it to put it back on the MLS. Of course, if you bid $1 above the bank's screwed. You get the property, they don't. Which is why I need to make up a good video on this, but that'll be another topic. But there's a lot of places that my brother, he lives in Texas. He lives in Mason, Texas, and he works for the county, not Mason County. I think he works for a different county, but he was in the tax office, and he said he was in there 45 minutes, and they were counting tax delinquencies on the properties, and he said that after 45 minutes they were still counting properties that are in tax delinquency down there. So you're going to see a lot of those places. The county is going to foreclose on them. So those will end up being added to all this mess. But like I said, you get a lot of realtors or investors, but they're not veterans of '08. And that they're bragging that people like me and other YouTubers that went through this don't know what we're talking about. Prices are going to keep going up. I've not talked to one person that has sold a property in the last year that got their asking price. They did not get it. They either had to come with some kind of concession, had to drop the price, or something like that. Excuse me. Sorry about that. I need to eat. I haven't eaten for like 10 hours. And my belly's really growling. But no, with the Midwest, Indiana is leading the foreclosure market right now. I'm not sure what's going on over in Indiana, other than Gary, and which is up by Chicago. It's up in the northwest corner of the state, and Indianapolis. I mean, those are probably like the biggest areas of Indiana. Then you got your your sub towns that set like on the north side of Louisville. They're across the river in Indiana. You got Fort Bend and stuff like that. But you're going to start seeing, let's see here, October. You should start to see these foreclosures coming onto the market here within the next, I'm going to say probably, they got 90 days. November, December, January. You should start seeing them things pop up sporadically here and there. And then as the time goes on, you're really going to see them coming on. And as people can't buy properties because anyone that's got bad credit, they've maxed out their DTI. I'm sorry about that. They're not going to be able to buy another house for at least, if they file bankruptcy, at least 2 years after they've been discharged. If they do that right and get their credit back up. But they're all knocked out buying a house. And, of course, now we know BlackRock, Blackstone, all them big outfits, they're not going to be buying any property because all the crap they're in. There was another report in here that said that where they were raising money, they made it sound good. I think it was on MSNBC that BlackRock or Blue Owl Capital, one of them, raised a bunch of money. Well, all they did was just sell off the bad loans to one of the other companies. Because like that one video, a while back, I'm telling you that they're bundling up these loans and selling them off to one another. So it makes it look like that things are good, and I'm waiting for that thing to pop any day now. Because there was another YouTuber and his analysis guy, where they were digging, he said if we're lucky, we might get a month or two. He said, but we're talking a couple weeks. And that was, what, a week or two ago when I did that. So I'm just waiting on that thing to come through. There was another, this is something else that's interesting that people's not paying attention to. I was checking on things. Sorry about that. And where'd it go? I got a dummy phone I bought when my old Galaxy went kaput. Until I got this new S25, I had to use this stupid Google phone till then, and it's so slow. Okay, there's the foreclosures. Here it is. Pawn shop owners across the United States are reporting a significant spike in customers selling items or taking out loans against the items, driven by inflationary pressures, high gas prices, high utility prices, property taxes going up, which is in return raising their mortgage, of course. Americans are struggling with daily expenses and using pawn shops for quick cash to afford essential items like food and to pay their bills. People don't have any money. I've been talking about this for the last year, and that's why I've started going. I'm probably about 95% liquid right now. I'm gonna be buying stuff. I'm gonna be buying stuff off people. Most of them made bad choices, and I'm gonna pick up their stuff for pennies on a dollar. I'm waiting to pick up a golf cart, one that's been it's already ready for the street and everything, because I go up my toy hauler when I head back down south this winter, and I'm gonna pick up one real cheap because somebody's gonna have to make their mortgage payment. Their unemployment ran out, or they got too many payments, and they're trying to hold on to their house. They're going to need to make at least one payment or two, and I'm going to pick up a nice golf cart for pennies. But I'm going to say, let's see here, when 08 hit, the GFC, there were foreclosures around here, but they really didn't pick up in this area here in Ohio. And I'm in central southwest Ohio. Columbus is about 45 minutes to the northeast of here. Cincinnati is about an hour. Well, not quite an hour. I can probably be in Cincinnati. Just say an hour southwest of here. And Dayton, they're 45 minutes to the west. But I've told people that there was in Wilmington. There was an old Air Force base back in the day before I was a kid, like back during the Cold War in the 50s. And then there was a company called Airborne that took over that, and they would basically gut the planes, and they did air freight. Well, then DHL came in, and they were there for a while, and because I worked there out of high school when it was Airborne. And we would go in at probably, I think I went in at 11 p.m. And all I did was push, it wasn't conveyor belts, it was like these rollers, and boxes would come down and you'd push it in like the little sector you was in to which plane it was going to. And I think we would get off work anywhere from 3 in the morning to 5 in the morning, it would depend. But DHL came in and took over, and they had, I think at nighttime, just that place alone had like 7,000 people there at night. And you'd see all these airplanes, because it was all air freight. But when that place went under, like I said, unemployment, you could draw it for 2 years. And so you didn't really see the foreclosures in this market, in this area, pick up until around midsummer of 2010, because I think that place they laid off all 8,000 workers. It was right before the presidential election, and it was about the summertime of 08 when that happened. But that's when people started getting desperate. They were selling off jewelry, anything they could get with value. But with these pawn shops, I'm watching this little squirrel out here eating. He's going. They crack me up. And we got lots of squirrels around here. But as these pawn shops get more and more stuff, they're going to offer you less and less for the item. There's another. I was reading further into that. There's people that are taking their stuff in and pawning it and coming back in and paying back the loan plus the exorbitant amount of interest that they charge, and then a few weeks later pawning again. You know, if you got to do that, just sell it and be done. You know, just get rid of it because you can't afford it. But I'm gonna see if I can't catch some more stuff on the wire. But those in particular, like the pawn shop thing, it's '08 all over again. Because well, more or less, I'm gonna say 2010 this area. But you're gonna see, but like I said, you're gonna see the pawn shops fill up with items, and they're gonna give you less and less for it. So you see people on Marketplace selling an item. Go to a pawn shop and ask them what they would pay for that item, and then that's the price you'll offer the person on Marketplace. That's how you're going to pick this stuff up for pennies on a dollar. The layoffs around this area, they haven't really gotten real big. There's a lot of places that's not hiring. Guys I game with have gotten laid off. They're on EverQuest. I play a game called EverQuest, and I'm on a server called Agnar. And my rating guild, we're the top rating guild. We're AT Adventure Time. What's up, fellows? I'll see you guys in a little bit. We're going to do our time raid tonight. But one of the guys I was talking to, I think he worked for Verizon and was part of that big layoff. I think it was Verizon. And I was asking him, I said, you know, I'd milk your unemployment, you know, and hopefully the feds will kick it up or you can draw it for 2 years. But I think if I understood him right, he can't draw his unemployment until his severance has been paid out. So, I mean, that's, you know, he's going to be, you know, I'd milk it. I would, because, like I said, my girlfriend, she was one of the unfortunate few in '08 that lost everything. And she got to draw unemployment for 2 years. So, but anyway, my stomach's rolling around, people. Glad I get to talk to you guys. Hope you guys like my content. You can Google this stuff if you don't believe what I'm telling you. But take care. Have a good evening. And I'll see if I can't come across some more stuff. And hopefully I got time to make one tomorrow. But tomorrow's my birthday, by the way. So I won't tell you how old I am. But I'm still in my 40s. So that's all that matters. But have a good evening, and I'll catch you guys next time.